Hello, my name is Brian Hickey, and I'm an Associate Director in the Office for Human Dignity in the Diocese of Joliet. Joining me again today is Laura Baracus. She is the Immigrant Support Coordinator for Catholic Charities Joliet. If you missed it, in our first video, Laura explained what she does as part of this role in Catholic Charities. Today, we're going to discuss issues related to the human dignity of migrants in the United States as part of our campaign leading up to the Catholic Church's World Day of Migrants and Refugees on September 27th. We'd like to remind viewers that the Office for Human Dignity does not endorse politicians or political parties. We advocate for policies that allow for the human dignity of every individual from conception to natural death. Of course, a short video format does not allow us to discuss all of the implications of certain policy positions or issues. Please go to our Facebook page or wherever you click the link to this video for more resources on these policies. Okay, Laura, let's get to our first topic today, DACA. Can you explain what DACA is, the recent Supreme Court case this summer, and where we go from here?
Of course. So DACA is a program that started under the Obama presidency a few years ago, and it was a program that was meant for immigrants who came when they were very young and who have been their whole lives in this country. And it was going to do two things for them. First, it was going to give them work authorization. And second, it was going to protect them from deportation. So in order to qualify for this program, they have to have been here very young. Like there's an age limit. There's also, they have to have come before the program started. Also, they couldn't have any criminal record. They also had to have studied and gone to school here or be studying currently in school or college, and a few other prerequisites. But then when an immigrant qualified for this program, then they were able to work. They didn't have to worry about deportation, and they were protected for 2 years. And every 2 years, they had to renew it. Then in the Trump presidency in 2017, the administration tried to end this program, but that caused a series of legal backlash and a series of lawsuits that culminated in the Supreme Court case that you may have heard in the news from June. So what happened while all those lawsuits were being settled and while the cases moved up to the Supreme Court was that the program was allowed to keep going, but only for individuals who already had it. So they stopped taking any new applications. So people could only renew their DACA. After June, when the Supreme Court made its decision that the administration couldn't fully end the program, USCIS, the immigration agency, said and updated the way they are processing these applications. But still, only people who already have DACA can renew it, but they're still not accepting any new applications. And now the program and the protections from the program only last 1 year. So every year, people with DACA have to renew it. So the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops advocates for a permanent solution for dreamers, as they are generally called, and DACA recipients, so that they can get access to permanent residence and citizenship, because this is the only country they've known, and they are contributing greatly to our communities.
Thank you, Laura. Yes, we are praying for a solution to happen for DACA and continue to do so. Our next topic is one that people who are not steeped in immigration policy may not have heard of: public charge and public benefits. Can you explain both of these and their impact today?
Of course. So, sorry, I was just making sure it was still working. Public benefits is, just like for anyone who lives in the United States, when people are in need, then there are different programs that they can access, like SNAP or food stamps, or Medicaid, that provides health insurance, and many different programs that provide different types of assistance to families in need. Immigrants who are here don't usually qualify for these benefits until after 5 years of being a permanent resident, or when they're already citizens. Plus, they have to meet all the other requirements of like income and all the other requirements that everyone has to meet. One exception to this is refugees and people who have already been granted asylum, which we talked about last video. They don't need to wait 5 years. They can access them sooner. But in general, immigrants aren't easily eligible for public benefits. Public charge is a rule that has been going on for many years. When a person applies to their green card to become a permanent resident, public charge is a test that is done to see if this person will be primarily dependent on public benefits in the future. So before, the way that was assessed was by using an affidavit of support from the person who was applying for this immigrant. So usually a citizen or a permanent resident has to like request an application for their family member to join. And so that person would say, I will financially support the immigrant. And so that would pretty much be it. Now, for a couple of years, the rule is being changed. And that means that now the rule is going to add more public benefits to the public benefits that they are looking into. And also that the affidavit of support is going to have a lesser role, even though it's still needed. And now the immigration official that is adjudicating the case of each individual immigrant will look to see the person's age, the person's education level, their person's income, the health background, if they can speak English, and many other things. But the problem with this change and why it is being fought in court, and also why the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops is against it, is that it is practically a wealth test for immigrants. It is ensuring that immigrants who are in need and the poorest and most vulnerable immigrants cannot get access to permanent residence in the United States. And so many other immigration complications that stem from that. So the Catholic Church advocates for solution and for a policy that keeps in mind our preferential option for the poor to help immigrant families and maintain their dignity, and not a policy that counts against them many of the situations that they cannot control.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you for connecting Catholic social teaching to what the USCCB advocates for these policies. There's so much richness in there, and so much more to cover, but I appreciate you again for giving us an articulate and clear snapshot of where we are and where we want to go. Want to remind our viewers to continue to follow us on our Facebook page and all our other platforms for continued updates on these types of policies and everything else going on in the Diocese of Joliet and beyond. So thank you again, Laura, for joining us.
Thank you.